we all know, today 30th of May 2014, when Kenya plays Comoros Islands in the return leg match of the Africa Cup of Nations qualifier, that is in the Moroni, Comoros Islands, this afternoon. And of course, we all know again that Kenya won the first leg 1-0 here at home about 2 weeks ago. And going into that return leg, there are so many intrigues. Players dropped, changing of the entire team that played in Nairobi. And therefore, the gentleman that I had again about 2 weeks ago before the first leg, Robin Toskin, our associate editor in the Game Yetu, and Musa Otieno, former Harambee Stars captain and a defender for a very long time with the national team. Gentlemen, welcome to the studio. And we will again just go straight into that, just probably spend a minute. One goal in Nairobi for Harambee Stars. Was it the best score for Kenya against Comoros Islands?
Yeah, I think according to the preparation which we had, I think we didn't have a very good preparation. But again, you know, sometimes in a game of football, for you to get that 3 points, it will always count. But with the margin again, sometimes football, if you have not played, you just know Comoros Island, you'll maybe think of 5 or 6 goals. But things have changed, and we saw how they came, and we just managed to score 1 goal. It tells you that well, other guys are sleeping, the other guys are working. Yes. So it is going to be a very crucial game for us today.
Exactly. Toskin, you expected the goal, or probably you thought it will be a walkover for Harambee Stars?
No, I expected at least maybe a 2-goal margin. But having looked at Comoros, how they've been playing, how they've been preparing in France, and you got the feeling at the end of the match that they were a better side. You know, technically, you could see they know something. But that 1-0 advantage that the national team took to Comoros actually is a positive thing, because it will entice the Comorians to come out, try and get that goal back. And if they do that, then they will open up spaces, and hopefully Harambee Stars can take advantage of that. Other than if it was a 0-0 draw or a 1-1 draw, then you could see that the dynamics could be different. But that 1-0 win, I think it will serve Harambee Stars well today.
Exactly. And then when the Islanders came to Nairobi came calling in Nairobi,
sure,
they said, of course, yeah, we did not know so much about Kenya. We did not have about 2 or 3 of their key players. I think some of whom play also in France. Mm-hmm. And now they have those players at home. Does that really play out for or against Harambee Stars, or Kenya for that matter?
At the moment, I think both teams know each other. You know, both teams have taken DVDs they are watching. At least there's nothing which they can say that this is a new team or an old team. The advantage which the Comoros had before coming to Kenya, we didn't know them. Maybe the coach knew them, but the players didn't know about them. The supporters didn't know about them. But it's like going to a battle. Your enemy knows you and you don't know him, and I think that is a disadvantage which the Kenyans had. And after the first game, I think it is going to be a more or less a balanced game, which teams are going to be cautious, because they know 1 or 2 players who they can give damage to the other one. Exactly. And I think it is a game which is going to be very tight.
Exactly. Of course, now diving into this game, when Kenya hosted the Islanders in Nairobi, we had players like Jamal Mohamed, we had Dennis Oliej, Kiongera again in that team in Nairobi. Those players are not in Comoros as we speak. And while Kenya prepares to play this return leg in the afternoon, I think the bigger question, and everyone has been asking, when the team left, Dennis Oliej was not in that team. I think for the first time since he was named in the Harambee Stars team more than 10 years ago. Good or bad for Kenya?
It's a very, very hot topic. It's been trending in the social media. The mainstream media have also taken it up, and there are diverse opinions about his latest problems with the coach Adel Amrouche. But if you ask me, I think 10 years, 12 years, because he was named in that for the first time in 2002. Yes. Now we are talking about 12 years. 12 years for a player, I think it's good time, enough time for a player to express himself or herself in a team. So given all the antics Oliech has been involved in, I think it's time Kenya moved on. We know he's our best striker over the last 15 years or so, but then do we have to sit back and wait on someone who is always, destabilizing the team? I think the onus now is on Adel Amrouche to make the decision. He's our general now. He's the guy leading us in Comoros. So whatever he says, I think the country should respect that.
Musa, you have played with Oliech on a number of years before you retired. Do you think it was good for Oliech to be dropped?
No, Dennis, when you talk about top strikers in Kenya, I think he's among the top players where Kenya rely on him a lot, and for him to be dropped in this trip, I think this is a time where Kenya really needed him. But when you came in a situation where you find that a coach has already decided to drop him, there are reasons which it is there behind him. We have heard about this one today, another one another day, but at the end of the day, again, it's a matter of this is a national team. It is a revival door. Today Musa is not there, tomorrow somebody else comes in and take the position. For him, I think it is high time. I think for me, as my opinion, this is the time now where I think Kenya needed him. And what has he done? Maybe he's having some issues, but I think this is a time which, regardless of whatever happens, this is a crucial game for us. We are out, we talk about another years. And things like this ones come in this position, which we need to check and see. He's a human being, but again, these are stories which have been coming in.
But what is the problem exactly? Because when you have one person who, in his mind, believes he's indispensable, it must be because of a reason, a hidden reason somewhere, Toskin.
Top players always have this, they just have something, this an X, I would call it an X factor in them sometimes. But then look at Oliech and Adel Amrouche. Adel Amrouche is also another big-headed guy. He's got just something about him that he will always want to be domineering over everyone involved with the team. Dennis Oliech has also been the same. I remember in 2007 there's an article I penned, and I went to the lengths of using a saying within my community that says, the protected one has always, to play by the rules. That we know Dennis Oliech for very many years, we had not produced a striker of his caliber. Yeah. So we always wanted him to be somewhere where he's not exposed to dangers. But Oliech would come to Kenya ahead of an international game, and then just disappear from camp. He goes and plays some matches in the estates. Yeah. Yes. That was exposing himself to danger. But now he goes back to the camp. He doesn't want to explain where he had been, and then expect that everyone would just buy his thoughts. The other day, he did the same, and the coach said, look, he cannot there are rules. Yeah, exactly. There are rules. So we've got to play by those rules.
Yeah. I think the most important thing, you mentioned about rules, and sometimes when you don't follow those rules, there are consequences. And for him, he feels like this is a national team. The coach, Dennis, was there, he bent the rules, and for him, he feels like, you know what, he needs a player who can play as a team, because it is going to be bad for a player like Dennis not to be in training maybe for 3 or 4 days, and then there's a player who has been training for the whole week and then being dropped. Yes. I think the coach, somehow, he felt like there is a team which has gelled together. Yes, maybe Dennis was having some problems, but he has not been in training. Nobody knows where he is. And I think the coach took a decision which he feels like, I'd rather lose with players who has been training together than each other. You got
exactly.
a point there.
But I think I am also seeing a bigger picture. This is my opinion. Yeah. Probably we have not nurtured other players so that when a particular player is not there, there is a perfect replacement. Would that be the reason also?
Of course. And that's why we've really relied on Dennis Oliech for so many years, and that actually is a strong indictment of our own structures. The Football Kenya Federation and their predecessors have not been, up to
their foresight was lacking.
Yes, that they needed to have put in place a structure where players, develop, and then you have cover for all those positions. Look at the defense at the moment. I think we have so many options. If Mandela, like he's now injured, is not in that team,
yes.
we have David Ocheng Cheche, we have Lawrence Olum now coming into that team, Joaquins Otudo, Abud Omar, so many of them. But in striking,
we don't have the
options.
options.
We've not been doing the right thing there.
Exactly. So in this case right now, what are Amruche's, as we conclude, are Amruche's options in the striking department in this very crucial match? Because I still call it crucial.
No, the only option which he's having is Alan Wanga. Alan Wanga is an experienced player. He's the only player who can play there top, and then maybe Kelly and Timbe on the right hand side, and I believe that that is a lineup which is going to start up front. You know, Toskin is not he's not happy with that lineup, but
you've always been talking about very defensive lineup. You remember our conversation elsewhere, but then Alan Wanga is the hope now. But of course, we have someone like Kahata.
Yes.
Kahata has been very instrumental playing behind the strikers, and he's a very good free kick taker.
And he has shown that he can really do it. He did that in Calabar.
Mind you, must remember that these guys are playing away, so the coach will have to play cautious, because he needs to get players who can fight for the team. Again, Kahata is a skillful player, but he's not playing at home, he's playing away. So he needs to have players who can fight for him there.
Well,
so we must understand that.
I really wished we had more time for this, because it is becoming very interesting as we conclude. Any worries going into that match at about 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Kenyan time?
No, for me, I think I don't have any worries, because majority, if you look at the core of the team, is most of the guys are playing overseas, and they're having Origi's back at goal, Olum is there in the midfield, then Mugabe, Cheche, Owino is there, and then Marigo is there too. So I still believe that this is one of the best youth team which Kenya is having. And
my worry is the aftermath of this game. If Kenya loses,
why?
Okay, we've got to put all the positions on the table.
Yes, exactly.
If Kenya loses and we are saying, hey, why did Adel Amruch leave at Oliech? I think that will be a topic that will really come out, and I expect that Kenyans will just need to understand the coach and say, well, there could be time to move on, and depending on the result, I think that will be a very big topic. But
probably
then
we will pick what will happen next, depending on the results, and also putting in mind that Kenya progresses, and chances are we will play Liberia again. We will need a stronger team going forward.
I think he still has some window, because the national team, you can never shut the doors for any top player. We need to talk to Oliech, and I think now the ball is on Oliech's court. He needs now to come back and tell Kenyans, look, okay, I've been going through these problems, because it's been said that he has some personal problems, but then we've got to listen to him.
Exactly. What is the worst that you can expect from this match?
It's a draw.
The worst, yes.
That is the worst.
Exactly.
That's the worst.
Good. That is it about that match. Kenya playing Comoros Islands again today in the afternoon, 4-5 p.m. Kenyan time, in that very, I insist, crucial match, because Kenya needs at least a draw to qualify for the second round or for the next round, and probably Kenya will play Liberia. But again, from tomorrow, Saturday, KTN will be diving into the World Cup, and we will be having a special show in the evening. We call it the Samba Buzz. Please join us at that time as we look into the 2014 World Cup in Brazil.
The Samba Buzz sounds exciting.
Yes.
I can already see the dances.
Because when you hear the buzz, when you hear the samba, combine the two, it means
Brazil,
something
here we
about
come.
Brazil.
Exciting times. What team are you supporting, by the way, for the World Cup?
Can I just keep that one now under my jacket?
Which team are you supporting?
African teams.
Both of them? Are they two?
Five.
Five teams.
Which one are you supporting?
All the African teams, of course, Nigeria, Ivory Coast,
Okay,
Ghana.
who are you supporting them to win?
Yeah. Brazil are the favorites. They're at home.
Yeah.
But don't write off any European country. But South Americans, they'll give the rest of the world some problems.
A problem.
You know, one thing, Sophia, these guys are not saying, when they say the 5 African teams, I mean, how can you support all of them, assuming all the matches
Yeah.
I'm also wishing them the best. But which is the one team that you wear their jersey and be on?
No, I cannot wear their jersey. I'll just support them.
You just support them. All right, sports chat for us today. Thank you very much, Kibo, and your panelists. We'll take a short break. When we return, hot topics for you, the Nairobian, the Pulse as well. Men, a good wife is made in heaven. Is a good wife made in heaven? You're nodding to that. We should invite you to that conversation. We'll have that and more coming up. Don't go away.